Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend so far. My name is Kat. I am the Nurse Flipper, and this is a research video, and it's actually going to be all one price point, all $500, all brooches. I will tell you there are a few that are precious metals, so there are a few gold and sterling silver, but the majority of these are costume pieces. Most of them are branded, so names that you can know and look out for, and almost all of them do have lower pieces. So if you remember these names, remember these styles, hopefully it will help you find some of these high dollar brooches. And I'm very, very excited to share them with you because it has been a little while since I have done this. First up is a vintage sterling silver Mary Gage modernist penner brooch with lily pads and flowers, as well as the carnelian stone. And this one sold for $499. Again, all of them on this video either sold at that or were priced at that with the best offer accepted. And here you can see they did say that it came with a patina, and I do typically leave those. This is not a name I'm familiar with. You can see that Mary Gage sterling there. So if you see names on any pieces of jewelry, I definitely would look them up. Next up was an actual auction, but it only got one bid. And so they started it at $495 and it sold for $495. So this is a Chafari Alfred Felipe blue baguettes shield door knocker dress clip or brooch, $500 sale. Beautiful blue baguettes, which is one of my favorite cuts on stones. And this one looks like it's pretty darn big. So here you can see the clip part there on the back. There is the KTF, which is Chafari, and beautiful, beautiful piece. And even though they only got one bid, still a really great sale. Next up is a D&E Juliana blue Easter egg millefiori flower brooch. It does say it's a book piece and it is verified. This one sold for a best offer on $499. And in my experience, these like confetti type egg shaped stones tend to do very well. Here you can see they are showing it in the book, and they are showing the back of that one to compare to this one here, and an excellent sale at $500. Next up is a spectacular Cororo Craft sterling vermeil enameled rhinestone large bird brooch or pen. I will tell you guys, if you are a reseller, putting spectacular in there is not the best use of title and keyword space, in my opinion. I just want to interject that. This is a really cool bird brooch. So $500 sale. This one is not precious metal. And here you can see, like, I believe that's their beaks there. And the birds are back to back. Really, really beautiful brooch here. And you can see here the Cororo Craft sterling there. And really, really great condition on this one. And it's big. If you see here, it's almost 4x4 and an amazing sale at $500. Next up is a name that I know and I absolutely love most pieces from him. This is a vintage Bouchet Hummingbird brooch, pen, mother of pearl, coral gold tone. It does say reed. This one sold for a best offer on $495, and this is a small one. So this one's about 1 inch by 2 inches. And here you can see the Bouchet. There are some unmarked Bouchet pieces. I have found a few. And their reed is because you can see here, it looks like there's 3 missing here, and there was another one on that last picture. So quite a few of the coral beads are missing, and it still sold for close to $500. Next up is a vintage Hopi whirling log sterling silver pendant or charm, and they did put pin and brooch. This one sold for $485. And here you can see the photos. I do believe I have a video on just Native American jewelry. If I can find that, I'll pop that up top for you guys. And here you can see the bail so that it can be worn as a pendant or a brooch. And if it does have that, I think that is pretty important to put in the title, and an amazing sale at $485. Another of my favorite jewelry makers is Miriam Haskell. I actually just listed a couple of pieces by her in my store. This is a chrysoprase glass cabochon floral brooch, $500 sale. I love the greens. So pretty and beautiful Miriam Haskell piece. This one is signed. You can see the Miriam Haskell there. Miriam Haskell does have quite a few unsigned pieces as well. And this one was an excellent sale at $500. Vintage Los Ballesteros Taxco Mexican sterling silver iguana shoulder brooch. I will tell you, watch for shoulder brooches in general. This one sold for a best offer on $495. I know I do have a video on Taxco jewelry, so I will pop that up top for you guys. This is a really neat one. I have not seen this one before with the iguana, and this is all sterling silver. There you can see the Los Ballesteros and the Taxco marking. This one is a 950 silver. I do tend to put 950 in my title when I have pieces like that, but it doesn't look like this seller did. Next up is one of the few gold pieces that I included, and that's because I think you might have a chance at finding one like this. So this is a 9-karat gold micro mosaic brooch. It does say Victorian Italian, 13 grams, and this one was an auction. It was started at just $10, and it had 14 different bidders over 5 days, and ended at $493.74 US. With micro mosaic, the smaller the glass pieces, like you can barely see the, like where these are. Look at that. Look at how tiny these are. So the smaller the pieces, typically the older the micro mosaic is. And this one is gold. It is not mark. I'm going to assume that the seller tested this. Next up is one that might catch you off guard, and look at how short their title is. This is a Bakelite Fiesta brooch, and this one sold for $500. I don't know why it's not showing up. That drives me crazy when it doesn't. But watch for some of these Bakelite brooches. They will blow your mind. I've also done a video on just Bakelite jewelry that sells high, and there's quite a bit of it. So definitely watch for that. I think we have one more Bakelite piece coming up in this video as well. So I think most people, if you saw this, you're not going to think this is a $500 brooch, right? It's plastic. I mean, it's Bakelite, but to the general public, I think they would see old plastic brooch. So I think the chances of finding stuff like this is probably better than some of the other pieces, and an excellent sale at $500. Next up is a signed Regency rhinestone purple swirl glass brooch earrings demi set, $498. I love the lavender and purple on this. There aren't a ton of Regency pieces that sell this high, but this one is so pretty. And you can see the Regency on that. I don't see it on the earrings, and that does happen a lot. But here on the brooch, you can see the Regency very clearly. And this one was an excellent sale, close to $500. So when you find pieces, even if most of them by that maker don't sell high, if you have something spectacular, make sure you try and find something similar so you don't underprice it. Next up is a pre-loved authentic Chanel white silk camellia blossom brooch. I think a lot of you might be floored at this because it's a silk flower, but it sold for $500. And here you can see it does have the Chanel on the back, and it's insane what these sell for. So if you're lucky enough to find one, you're going to make yourself a quick $500. Next up is an Yves Saint Laurent vintage gold metal faux pearl and stone fish brooch. So watch for YSL because almost all of them will sell high. $500 for this fish brooch. And I think they're showing the scratching, and there's a little discoloration on that pearl. And there is that YSL, clear as day on the back. Know this for sure. And this one has some wear to it and still brought that $500. Here is the other Bakelite brooch I told you about not too long ago. This is a vintage 30s carved, over-dyed Bakelite football game day pen brooch. It does say Martha Sleeper. It says rah rah in the middle. $500 sale, guys, for Bakelite. And again, make sure you check these Bakelite brooches. It looks like that main piece is actually a whistle, which is pretty cool, and an excellent sale at $500. Next up is a vintage Eisenberg original gold over sterling enamel Yellowstone fur clip pin. Fur clips are another thing to really keep an eye out for. This one sold for $499. And you can see this one's got a lot of wear. I see a stone missing there as well. So don't think this discoloration and scratching is necessarily gonna mean it won't sell. And it still might sell for a lot, just like this one did. You can see that Eisenberg original there. This is a sterling one, and it's almost 4 inches. This is a really, really big piece. Look how heavy it is, 72 grams, and a really, really great sale. Next up is probably one of my favorite pieces on this video, and I've never seen anything quite like this. This is an amazing shell cameo, handmade, the Prophet full face signed brooch. Sold for a best offer on $499. You can see the signature there in the front left. Look at how neat this is. The detail on this is absolutely stunning. I'm not sure why they showed it in black and white, to be honest, but I don't know. Definitely a really cool 3D piece, and an excellent, excellent sale, close to $500. Next up is another Bouchet. This is a silver tone and blue cabochon glass. This was another auction and another one that only got one bid. Sold for $499. I love the blues on this. Really, really pretty brooch. And this one looks to be in very, very good condition. There you can see the number as well as the Bouchet on that. And really, really pretty set. And amazing sale. So again, with stuff like this, they started it at $499 and only got one bid. So if they had started it lower, it's very possible that they wouldn't have even got the $500. Next up is one they put Cororo Craft in a question mark. Sterling silver, gold vermeil, horse brooch pen with plume. This one sold for $495. And it's like yellow topaz stones on this one. And I don't know if maybe Google Lens was telling them this was Cororo Craft. And there are some unmarked Cororo Craft pieces out there. And this one was an excellent sale. Again, it is sterling, but sold for close to $500. Next up is a beautiful rare signed Carl Lagerfeld gold-plated dragon pearl statement brooch. This one sold for a best offer on $495. This is really cool with the dragon. I always pay attention to dragons. You can see the KL there on the front though, and it does have the faux pearl in the mouth. This one is beautiful condition. Very, very nice brooch here. You can see the KL on the back as well. Really, really nice and a great sale. Next up is another auction and another one bid. So again, watch what you're starting your auctions at because you might not get more than one bid. This is another Yves Saint Laurent. This is a cross pendant or brooch from the 1970s. One bid, $499. This is a really pretty blue enamel, you can see. And they didn't even put the color. I would have put cobalt blue in that title. And here you can see the marking there, the Yves Saint Laurent, made in France. And it looks like they actually have the paperwork to go along with this. And it was still a good sale at $500. Next up is a vintage Christian Dior Germany brooch. This one is from 1963. It sold for $500. And here you can see really, really pretty. It's almost like a slag glass on those. And there is some wear and some oxidation to the back of this one. There is the Christian Dior as well as the 1963 date. Really, really pretty brooch. And it looks like the front doesn't have as much discoloration as the back, and an excellent sale at $500. Next up is a stick pin. It's 14 karat gold, pink amethyst grapes, $498. So stick pins might be something you could find in the gold that were overlooked. And this is not a ton of gold, but the value of gold right now is very, very high. And I'm trying to see, there's that 14 karat there, right there on that stick pin. So make sure you are looking on them, because this was a great sale, a tiny piece and a $500 sale. Next up is one I have seen in a couple of my brooch videos before this exact brooch. This is a Cororo sterling silver Pegasus Adolph Katz water carrier brooch. It does say aqua crystals. This one sold for $495. That picture is very out of focus. So is that one. So make sure so is that one. All of them except for the first one were out of focus. So hard for me to show you that signature. When you're doing jewelry, guys, make sure that those pictures are in focus. All right. Our last one is the Chanel CC Gold Crystals Faux Pearl Brooch. This one's a newer one from 2024. Sold for $496. I put this up because I have found authentic Chanel brooches in online jewelry lots. So they are out there, probably not newer ones like this, but older ones worth just as much. And here you can see the back of this one. And there is that Chanel. It was in the bottom. They didn't zoom in on it though, unfortunately. I would with Chanel, Gucci, any of your really big names, I would almost pay, I think it's like $30 to get them authenticated, because they are heavily, heavily faked. All right, that was everything. I hope you enjoyed. I love looking at jewelry because I sell a ton of jewelry. So I think on either Sunday or Monday, what I'm going to do is necklaces for you. So that will be a fun one for sure. And I think I'll do the same thing. I'll do the $500 price point. I know you guys want lower, but as you see, like even going down to 500, I found 25 at that $500 mark. And that's what's going to happen. The lower you go, the more there are going to be, and the harder it is to pick which ones to show you guys. So that's why I don't do a ton of lower dollar ones, because it just makes it a lot harder to pick. I really do appreciate you watching. I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Leave me a comment. Make sure you are subscribed, and I will see you on the next one.